I'm in Sweden at FX Airguns, and I'm over here for a very specific reason. FX Airguns use SmoothTwist barrels, and I'm over here to not only watch them being made, but I'm going to make a few myself. Now, next to my little jacket over there is the blazer of one Ben Taylor, the inventor of SmoothTwist, and we'll catch up with him later on to find out his views. But for now, what we're going to do is go through that door into the workshop of Freddie Axelsson, founder and owner of FX Airguns, where we're going to find out some fairly surprising things. They certainly surprised me. I've been here before, I know quite a lot about the company, but I didn't realise quite how hands-on its founder and chief boffin really is. So let's see it for ourselves. You see, what I really didn't know about was that Frederick himself sets up the SmoothTwist barrel system. He's always been a sort of a hands-on guy, but I didn't realise he checks, calibrates, straightens and makes sure that each and every SmoothTwist barrel they make here performs like it should. And they perform quite phenomenally. What he's doing now is straightening the barrel. He's got it on a pivot point there. He's applying pressure so that when that gauge reads correctly, he'll know, as he moves the barrel over to those rollers, he'll know that it's dead straight. All done by hand and eye with the use of some simple but sophisticated technology. But the important thing is it's done individually, and it's done by the guy that owns the factory. And this really is, it's not being set up for me, this is how it is. I'm going to be doing a bit of this later on, and I'm going to be shooting the result of it. I have to tell you right now that the SmoothTwist barrels you see here have already gone through at least half a dozen processes that I can't show you. These things aren't just sort of tubes with a unique take on their rifling. These are very sophisticated items, very precise, and they shoot well for a reason. The main attraction is not only are they incredibly accurate, but they are incredibly accurate with more types of pellet than any other barrel I've ever seen in my life. And I have tested them personally from the day that Ben Taylor thought they were good enough to be tested. And that's 4 years ago now. Now we've reached the end game. Now with refinements from Ben and from FX, these things shoot incredibly well at 12 foot-pounds and ultra high velocity. I've been testing over here a pump-up air rifle that does 70 foot-pounds, and with a SmoothTwist barrel this thing will group inside an inch at 50 meters, no problem at all. It's an amazing piece of kit, and that's in 2.5 caliber. But as we watch Frederick get these barrels dead right, we'll now watch him move on to the next phase where he applies the SmoothTwist. What you would call it rifling, it isn't really, but it's what makes the pellet spin stabilized. We'll watch that process next. Before Frederick applies the actual SmoothTwist, he's cleaning the blank. He's getting it exactly as it should be, rodding it through. Again, individually done. This is how it is. This is how each and every one is done. Now he'll go over to the machine. And again, I have to tell you that loads of processes have gone on here that I can't show you, but this will be introduced to the machine. The dial will be set, and there we are. That's it. That is now ready for testing. It's going to be tested by these little gauges to make sure that this particular barrel is exactly as it should be, and the age-old eye test, still reckoned to be the best, is applied. Frederick reckons that's okay. What he'll do now is he'll screw on the cap that goes over that, flush fitting. This barrel is still to be blued, of course. Now it goes into the test jig. This is a captive slave action. Barrel's locked in. We apply our ear defenders. Now Frederick has this shooting down a 20-metre tunnel. to a target at the end there. This will be loaded individually, and a group will be tested. You'll notice the pellets are straight from the tin after he's applied a couple of disco felt barrel cleaning pellets. Now he'll use the pellets properly. It's a little robust crack there. There we go. Obviously no silencer on this barrel, so that's why we're getting that noise. But it can study the group through the scope mounted on the top of the action there. And 20 metres away, there's a pellet. We'll follow later on, we'll follow the target actually being shot. And we'll see how that develops shot on shot. There we go. Fred will take it out now. And if that barrel is doing what it should, that will go ready for assembly onto an FX air gun. Goes in the finished rack, ready for bluing. How did that one do, Fred?
Good.
What sort of group are we looking at?
It's open up from 5.5mm to 7.5.
So 7.5mm at 20 metres.
20.5 meters.
So that is effectively one hole with a...
Just a hole.
Just a single hole.
And if we have something open up like 9mm, then we're testing them at the range of 50 meters.
So you then would transfer it to 50 meters?
Yes, if we have something which is exactly the way we want here, we're testing them at 50
And what sort of group would you expect at 50 meters?
Half inch.
Half inch at 50 meters?
Yes.
Well, that's an absolutely fantastic group, and I can tell you I've achieved a few of those, but not as many as I would like. And you would take that is the standard group you would expect from a SmoothTwist barrel.
That's what we're aiming for, and that's what we want, and that's it.
That's the only one you'll accept?
Yes.
That's fantastic. Right, can we now see how a target is shot pellet for pellet? Okay?
Yes, no problem. All right.
Go! I'm right at the business end now, and the pellets have been designed to hit into a clear area of carbon. As you can see, that's the second one in. It's just going through the same hole. Remember, this is at 20.5 meters, and Fred is firing quite quickly. You wouldn't fire as quickly as this normally, and what we're ending up here, I think, is going to be about a 2.5 caliber hole. There it is, forming in front of your eyes. Now this SmoothTwist system will do this with virtually any quality ammo you can use through it. Some will be better than others, but quality pellets will return quality results more times in a SmoothTwist than in any other barrel I've ever tested. SmoothTwist is nothing short of a shooting phenomenon, and I think in a very short time this will have a massive impact on the world of shooting. It doesn't just work for air guns, it works for high power and rimfire, and we don't know where the limits are with this yet. I can't really leave my FX visit without showing you this. This is the weight room for the staff. Frederick supplies this so that the guys can work out, and once a month, believe it or not, in comes a masseuse to give everyone a nice little sort of body rub down and stuff. And I'm thinking of seriously requesting the same sort of thing at the Airgun World offices. I think it'll go down a treat. Look at that. Proper gymnasium for the staff. Not a bad idea at all. Let's see what else we can dig up. I think I might get Frederick to shoot us a couple of the more exotic FXs and give you a chance to have a look at how they work. As you've already seen, Frederick Axelsson is a pretty hands-on type of company owner. He doesn't only develop his stuff, he tests it as well, and he's a very keen recreational shooter. He loves his pigeon shooting with his air rifles. Now what he's got here is the FX Independent. This is a pump-up, multi-pump rifle, very easy to pump. Power potential is phenomenal. What sort of power is this one doing, Fred?
70 foot-pound, and it's a 2.5 caliber.
70 foot-pounds in 2.5. There you are, a delicate little rifle, obviously made for the FAC market. Now Fred's going to start pumping it. Now he's not the biggest guy in the world, Fred, But look how easy that is. No problem at all. He'll pump this rifle up. It will have been charged up. You can charge it up actually with an air cylinder up to a certain pressure, and once you start shooting it, you maintain the pressure by manual pumping. Now Fred slips in a pellet. We've arranged a very high-tech target about just under 30 yards away, and what we'll do now is Fred will blow it up. There you go, the old can of Coke trick. No big deal there, but it wasn't loud, it wasn't hard to pump, and with 70 foot-pounds in 2.5, it's obviously got the potential to be something really special in the world of vermin clearance. It'll be on ticket, as I say, but sometimes an FAC for an air gun is easier to get than it is for a live ammunition rifle. I think this rifle looks good. It's got that sort of mean look about it. Having tested one extensively, I can tell you it's not hard to pump, especially in 12 foot-pounds, and you do get a magazine option with the 12 foot-pounder. It's a fantastic piece of kit. It will still be developed even further by Fred. This is a prototype you're looking at, but I'd say you're pretty pleased with it, Fred. What do you reckon about it?
Yeah, it's a fantastic rifle and a big potential, and 70 foot-pound is, you know, that's so little energy I put into it, and getting 70 foot-pound out is fantastic.
He's dead right. I've tried it, I've pumped it, it's easy to shoot, it's easy to use, and it's pretty much sums up what FX and Fred Axelson are all about. You get the most out for the least in. Nice piece of kit. Well done, Fred. I was poking around in Fred's sort of development room he's got here, and I found this strange looking sort of hopper. Now I've got half an idea I know what it is, but what exactly is it, Fred? It's
a paintball magazine, and it's the quickest one on the planet, and it's a very sophisticated one.
I see. So it's got a
nice.
So that distributes the balls. How does that go? How does that work then? Right, so it has a battery in there.
Yes.
The paintballs drop into that wheel, and that little arm scoops them down that tube into the gun, I should imagine. So it goes...
And it's feeding the gun there with about 45 balls per second.
45 a second. Is there anything faster than that on the market?
Not what I know about.
No.
And it's very gentle to the paintballs, and it's just fantastic.
So the paintballs don't sort of explode inside it?
No, it's very gentle to that.
And is it now, have you sold this? Was it a project?
It's sold to an American company, and
right.
They're doing very, very well with it.
Good, good. But we're not in any danger of losing you to the paintball market, are we? You're still going to be with us in Airguns?
Absolutely no chance. I mean, Airguns is my business, and that's what I'm going to maintain.
You know, one of the best things about you, Fred, is that Airguns is also your passion as well.
Yes.
You are absolutely driven.
Yes, absolutely.
It's great to see it. Well done, mate. It's nice to find out even more stuff about you, but clever piece of kit.
Yep.
So, Fred, this is the power adjuster you've been telling me all about. It's a 3-stager. It's a thumb wheel. How does it work, and what does it do?
How it works is hard to telling, really.
You mean because of patents and things like that?
Yeah, it's covered by patent, but explaining it is quite hard. But what I can say is working fantastic. Really, really fantastic. Very pleased with it, and I'm so happy we can have a power adjuster on the Royale as well.
Now, does it, when you lock it into one power, and then you come back to that power, does it stay the same as it was?
Yeah, exactly the same.
That's good.
No, you know, it's so perfect. It's brilliant.
Right, so it's a thumb wheel. It's accessible literally in a second, and when you dial back to it or up to it, you're using the same power every time.
Yes, no difference at all.
So it remains constant, and you have 3 variable levels that you can use for whatever you want, and you can be sure that each one will reproduce the power you want every time.
Yeah, let's say a rifle which gives you about 32 foot-pound on high power. It's going to give you about 12 foot-pound on low and 20 on medium. So
that's fantastic, and that can be set up and down throughout the power scale as required.
When we're making them actually 12, 20 and 32.
Right.
But of course we have more powerful rifle. We have 50 foot-pound, so it could vary a little bit, but it's going to be good numbers. It
looks like an excellent system, and it's superior to your previous system of the lever.
Oh, this is even better. This is.
That's how it should be. That's what developments are for. Thanks for showing us that, Fred. That's great. Something FX are getting more into is the target shooting disciplines. Now this is a biathlon rifle they've developed and demonstrated here ably by Fred. There you are, very simple sort of straight pull hammer system. And what I'm particularly interested in is this adjustable stock. Now as you can see, it's all turn wheels again. You loosen that, raise the cheek piece. That can move sideways as well from an internal adjustment, and you can do the same with the butt pad. That can increase the length of pull, and the butt pad can slide up and down. Simple, robust, easy to adjust, made of ABS synthetic system there, so it won't respond at all to the cold or the wet. Nice simple system, simple robust rifle, and it works a treat. There you go, there's the FX Biathlon coming to an event near you. From lovely sunny Sweden, we've gone underground in Cambridge. Here we are at the Kynoch factory's underground range. Ben Taylor testing the brand spanking new Verminator. Now this is a new model entirely, but it has got the SmoothTwist barrel. 2.2, shooting at targets at 35 yards. You're going to see the results later on. We're also going to show you a SmoothTwist barrel fitted to an air arms, just to show you it's not just an FX thing. If there's time, I'm going to give you a little bit of a tour of the Verminator while I've got it here, because I'm just about to snaffle it for an exclusive test. All very exciting stuff. Right, Ben's zeroed it as he wants it. Now he's going for some serious accuracy tests.
H&N.
We're using H&N Field Target Trophy. Good old
I think so.
FT trophies. Shooting down there at 35 yards. Obviously no wind, we're underground. And he's shooting them at a fairly brisk pace. 12 mag scope as you would use normally through the new Verminator Mark II. How's it shaping, Ben?
It's pretty good.
And he reckons it's pretty good.
They're all going through the top hole.
He's a fairly demanding sort of a chap, so if he says it's pretty good, that means it's absolutely brilliant normally.
Oh, put that out there. That was me.
Oh, well, he's just pulled one, so he's human.
Oh, you got time for it.
Excellent. Right, let him finish. Then we'll look at the card. Then we'll swap the scope to another rifle and see how that does. Remember, both of these rifles have got SmoothTwist barrels on them. While Ben carries on testing, I've got to show you these cards. Now, the one on the right is 10 shots at 40 meters. You can see, I suppose it's sort of half an inch centre to centre. 10 shots, 40 meters. Air Arms S410 JSB pellets. On the left, 5 shots, 50 meters. Slightly tighter if anything, but there again there's just half the amount of pellets. Same rifle, same pellets. That, through a SmoothTwist barrel or any barrel, is impressive. These things work. You've seen them work live. You've seen them work in an FX gun. You've seen them work in an air arms gun now. It does work. They are coming, and more air gunners are going to feel the benefit of them. But the truth is, they've only scratched the surface of what these things can do, and it's going to be really exciting to see what's coming next. Well, I'll sign out now. I've got a Verminator to test. Look out for that one. Here I am, just going to start my very first test with the new Verminator Mark II. I thought I'd give you a little bit of a tour of it, because I'm invited to a very special place to test it. This is the Millbro underground range. Look, 100 and odd meters down there. Obviously no wind, everything controlled, bench rests, chronos, all sorts. I've been given the chance to test it here by means of a sort of a field test and a first user test. FX will want the feedback from this, but I thought I'll take my tiny little tour of it. It looks a bit like the previous Verminator, but actually it's a different rifle. It's based on the Royale. It's got the Royale side lever, Royale mag system. It's got a fully shrouded barrel. There may be something to come in the silencer department over that. It's got a superb trigger on it, really has. But this is a different animal entirely, and I'm going to be taking this on long-term test. It's got the movable butt pad there. This whole back section here can be adjusted for length and cant. But this one's going to be pretty special because I'm going to be taking it back to Ben, who's taking the magazine out of it, and he's going to be doing what he does to it. I won't tell you what it is yet because we haven't quite agreed on how much he's going to modify it, but it's going to be used as a vehicle for the Ben's talents, and there's plenty of those. So I'm going to get underway. I'm going to do some range testing with it, and then I'm going to take it out where it's designed to be used. I'm going to take it out in the field and get myself familiar with it, and then I'm going to shoot some vermin with it. I can't wait. It's an exciting looking gun. You look at it, it's sort of in the round. It's chunkier, it's sort of boxier, altogether sexier looking thing. And believe me, I'm a Verminator owner. I've got 2 of them, and I absolutely love the things. So, oh, somebody's calling, probably the office. Better go, and I'll see you in the field.